Hi and welcome to the Psoas and Iliacus release demo video where we are going to go over exactly how to do the Psoas and Iliacus release corrective exercises. I like to do my Psoas release on a yoga bolster, but if you don't have that equipment, there are some great swap outs. You can use a stack of towels or blankets folded nice and firmly, making about a 4-inch height structure, or alternatively, you can use a rolled up sleeping bag. What I do like to do before I start the Psoas release is a little bit of a check-in, because the changes that are happening during this release work can be quite subtle. You may do it and think, I don't feel anything, but it's because we need to check in first and see, well, how is your body actually feeling? And then we're going to do a check-in at the end. So come and lie down on the floor. We're just going to lie down flat on the floor just for a couple of seconds and check in how our body feels. Check in the space under your knees, under your legs, under your lower back, under your neck. Just get a little bit of a map of how your body feels there. Great, and then we're going to set up for the Psoas release. So take your bolster or your other structure, and I'm going to use a half round foam roller under my head, but you can also just use a rolled up towel if you don't have a foam roller. So we're going to keep that handy. What we're going to do is we're going to come back and lie on the structure, but we're not going to lie with our whole back. This is not a back bend. Going to look for the tips of your shoulder blades or just above bra strap level. That is going to go onto the bolster. Okay, we're going to extend our legs. Put your head, the base of your head, not your neck, on your half round foam roller. And we're just going to relax into this position. You may feel that there is a big arch under your back. That's fine, right? That is showing us that the psoas is quite tight. We want that area eventually to just relax to the ground, and this will happen over time. If your back is not moving, if nothing is happening, it's absolutely fine. Just keep practicing the psoas release. Keep giving yourself time. Even if nothing is happening, you will see at the end that there may be a change, because what we're doing in this position is we're putting the psoas in a completely unloaded position. So we're just letting gravity do its awesome thing. As the psoas muscles start to relax a bit, you may feel that your pelvis feels a little bit tweaky, because the psoas is connected to the positioning of the pelvis. So if you want to wiggle a little bit, feel free to do that. Find a more comfortable position. We're just lying here for 5 to 10 minutes. You're welcome to lie here longer. You may feel that it's a very relaxing position. Some people love it, some people battle with it. You let us know in the Zoom coaching calls if you would like any troubleshooting or help with your psoas release. And we're really just lying here doing nothing, but a lot is going on. If you find that your psoas is starting to release, you can push the bolstering away and just have your head on the bolster. For a couple of minutes, you could release even further and just put it on your half dome. Remember, if there's any pain or discomfort, please stop doing the move and let us know in the coaching calls, and I will give you modifications. And then at the end of your psoas release time, I like to just do a quick check-in to see if there's any difference in how my body is feeling. And I can tell you, I feel like I'm just super heavy to the ground, that the bottom of my ribs are making contact with the ground, which they weren't before, that my neck feels longer, and I feel super duper awesome and relaxed and released here. So that was the psoas release. We're going to move on to the iliacus release. Our next demo is of the iliacus release. So again, let's start with a little bit of a check-in. So come and lie on your back on the floor, and this time I wanted you to really check in and feel what's happening in this whole hip flexor area, if there's space under the legs, under the knees, and any tension through the front of your hip flexors. Just get a little bit of a check-in so that afterwards we can do an after check-in and you can see if there's any difference. Now, there are a few ways to do the iliacus release. I'm going to show you on some different equipment, and you are welcome to do whatever feels best for you or whatever equipment you have available. The first is with the yoga bolster. You can also here use your stack of towels or your sleeping bag that you may have used for the psoas release. So you're going to take your structure, I don't know, that's about 4, 5, 6 inches high, whatever works for you. You're going to lie back and you are going to put your butt on top of the structure. Okay, heels under your knees. We don't want them too close to the bolster or too far away. Heels of your feet under your knees. And we don't want the butt directly on the structure. We want it kind of falling off a little bit so that your pubic bone is just starting to tip towards your nose. And you just lie here. Again, we're letting gravity do its thing on the iliacus muscles. So that is the example on the yoga bolster. We can also use a block. So you take a block, you take the block, and again you put it under your butt, but not directly under your sacrum so that your pelvis is flat, or so that your butt is kind of falling off a little bit and your pubic bone is tipping towards your nose. If you're feeling uncomfortable through your back and your neck, often if you have there's a lot of rounding of the upper back, this can feel quite uncomfortable. So you can take some blankets or towels, position your upper body on there, and then come into, sorry, I need to be a little further positioned. You'll work out what feels good for you. Come into the iliacus release. If you have a fair bit of mobility through your lower back and you would like to progress the psoas release, you can take your block from being kind of flat position to what we call toaster position, and that takes you a little bit higher, so you do need to have quite good range of motion here. But it also allows for gravity to work even harder on those hip flexor muscles for you. So if you enjoy that and there is no discomfort or pain, feel free to increase the height of your bolstering. If you feel you need to start off a little more gently or you have lower back issues, you can always take your half round foam roller flat side up and put that under your butt. And what's nice about this is it's super gentle and it just very nicely tips you into this little bit of a posterior tuck, which is what we want here. We do want the pubic bone tipping a little bit towards the head, heels under the knees. Just relax in this position if you want. You don't have to have something under your shoulders. Whatever feels the most comfortable for you. And again, if there's any pain or discomfort, please stop. Let us know in the Zoom coaching call and we will give you modifications. Here's the iliacus release. You don't want your legs to be falling out. You don't want them to be tipping in. Keep the knees lining up with the sticky out ASIS bones. And then at the end of your 5-10 minutes, take all the bolstering away, release and lengthen out, and check in and see if you can feel any difference through the hip flexors. And my legs feel, oh, so nice and super soft and just melting to the ground. So that is the Psoas and Iliacus release corrective exercises. I would like you to do these at least once a day for 5 minutes each. You're welcome to hold the releases for longer, to do them twice a day. And remember, it's always nice to double this up as self-care time. You can play a meditation, or you can do the bonus meditations, which you can find in the Reshape Method Content Hub, the Reshape guided meditations, which give you a prompt halfway through to switch to the next position. So make sure you have all your equipment handy when you are doing that, and enjoy. I'll see you in the next lesson.